Hi, welcome to my video on home-based training or office-based training for home-based workers. Now, the way these exercises are to be used is to split them up based on the sequence that I will go through, which is basically working from the feet all the way up to the chest and shoulders. And do these exercises just for 5 minutes at a time during breaks in your day. So every 45 minutes of your working day, take a 5-minute break and do some of these exercises. By the end of the day, you'll have got through the whole routine and it'll really work for you. You can really keep in shape doing this on a daily basis or every second day. I've done so before for years, doing just this routine, and kept myself in really good shape. You can too. So there are no excuses. It doesn't matter how busy you are. Let your work time be your workout time. Here we go. Hi, my name is Idai Makaya, and today I'm going to introduce you to a workout program that you can do without a gym, that you can do if you're an office-based person or a home-based person, and it doesn't require any equipment. So this is a way you can really stay in shape. It's not a gym, but it will get your core and your target muscles into shape. Now, the first thing you can do to just burn more energy is have a workspace which allows you to stand like this one. If you've got a standing desk, you actually burn a lot more energy across the 8-hour working day than you would if you're sitting down. So if you've got the option to stand, that's the first thing you should probably be doing if you want to start getting into shape whilst at work. Now, what I'm going to take you through is an exercise program starting from your feet and then going up your body. We will start with an exercise called the calf raise. It's a well-known exercise. You can do this in many ways. So the first way could be against a wall. You're going to have both your feet here in a stretch position, and you lift yourself up and then you go down. Now you just keep doing this until your calves couldn't take it anymore. If you get really good at it, you can start doing this with just one leg at a time. You can have the other foot out so that if your foot slips, you can steady yourself. But it's good to get a stretch in it, and then you lift yourself up and then you go down. Now there's also an option where you bend the legs. This is slightly different. Now notice it's the calves moving, not the knees. And you can do this one also with one leg. Now this one is quite important because it does a different part of your calf, which is very protective of your knee. So you need to do both types, the straight leg and the bent leg. And then once you've done your calf raises and you can't do any more, you should really balance it out by doing a reverse calf raise using this muscle here called the tibialis muscle. You simply go against a wall, have a comfortable stance, keep your legs locked, and you flex up the front of your foot as high as you can, and then you bring it down. And again with this exercise, you just keep going till you can't do any more. We're just doing one set, and you can do this in a 5-minute break during your workday. If you take a 5-minute break every hour through your workday, you'll be able to complete this routine. Now the next exercise you're going to do, you've done the lower leg below your knee, you're going to do above your knee. And it's just the standard basic squat. So you can have your arms in a counterbalance position, comfortably and slowly lower yourself into the squat position and come up. Now, if your knees don't feel great, going very low with the basic squat, find a posture that feels right first of all. So for some people that might be close, some people that might be a bit wider, and also feel free to do a shallower squat. So you can squat here as long as that's not hurting your knees. You don't have to go down there. And some people find it easier to squat if their feet are closer together because their knees are not very strong. And you can do it this way. Now again with the squat, you should just keep going. I'd like you to go for about 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. So you don't even have to count them, but if you want to count them, then you can count them just so you can track yourself. And you go till you're tired. Your knees must never hurt. If your knees are hurting, then the exercise is too much. You're doing too many reps or you're going too low. So that's the next exercise for your thighs, the squat. But there's another one you can do which separates your legs out, and it's called a lunge. For a lunge, simply have a comfortable stance, have your arms in a comfortable stance, take a step back, and then lower yourself comfortably down. Your knees must not hurt when you do this. Now, the safest way to do lunges is to step back and then lower yourself. But if you've got very good knees, you can also step forward. So you can do a lunge where you step forward and go down. But there's a deceleration, and then you jet yourself back up. So you step forward, you go down, and then you push yourself back. Now, that's a more explosive lunge, and if it's comfortable on your knees, by all means do it. Those are the two exercises that you need to do for your thighs. Now, we're not working on our hamstrings because our hamstrings generally need exercise equipment. So the next thing we're going to do is move up to the lower back. A very effective exercise you can use for your lower back is the Superman position, where you'd hold a table, lift up one arm, and straighten out your opposite leg. You'll feel a good contraction on this part of your back. And you do opposite arm, opposite leg. Try to get that leg straight, try to get it high, and you feel the squeeze on one side of your lower back. Now this exercise, you don't have to do it standing, but that's just convenient. An even more effective way you can do it is on your knees, and you can connect your elbow to your knee, and then you can straighten it out, and you can do a couple of reps, maybe 10, and then you go to the other side, you straighten out, you crunch and connect, you straighten out. And this is a very effective stabilizer for the lower back. So that's one option. Another option for the lower back is to do a single leg glute bridge. You can do it that way, you can do it that way, and if you're not very strong, you can even use both legs. And if your wrists are not very good, then you don't want to use them. You can actually be on your back, and you can do it this way or this way. Now you can use all of these exercises for variety on different days, and this exercise does do your hamstring, so it's well worth doing if you do not have any kind of gym membership and you're trying to get in shape. On different days, instead of doing glute bridges, you can do an exercise called a back extension. Now you've got to keep your legs almost straight, stick your behind backwards, and what you do with this one is you open up and look forward and widen your elbows. Then you go down, you can have your legs slightly bent. Then you open up, try to look up to the ceiling, then you go down, and you try to move in a controlled fashion, widening your elbows, and then going down. You will find this is like doing a crunch for your back, and it does make your lower back stronger. So you can do that on different days, just for variety, as a different way of targeting the back. And remember, you can also do all these exercises in sequence in one whole workout at home. Now the next exercise in the sequence, we're going to skip the abs and we're going to move to the chest, because we like to do the abs last if possible. So the exercise that works well for the chest is push-ups. That's an easy exercise that can be done almost anywhere. Now this is the full version of it. You are in this position with a straight body like a plank. You lower yourself down nice and low, and then you come up. But many people are not strong enough to do that. So if you're not strong enough to do that, and you just keep going until you fail, until you can't, you just need to do one set of every exercise we're talking about today. But if you can't do them straight onto the ground, you can make it slightly easier by using a platform like this table. It's easier to do it at this height than all the way to the floor. So that's the next way to do it, and you keep doing that until you're good enough to do it on the floor. But if that's too difficult, you can even do push-ups against a wall. So now the angle is a lot less, and you're just going into the wall and out, or it could be something wider, and you go in and out. You've got to be super careful of your shoulders, and they should feel natural at all times. They shouldn't feel stressed. They must feel natural in position. But you will be aspiring to eventually build down to the normal push-up position. Now, if you just want to do them on the floor, but they feel too hard, a way around that is to place your knees on the floor when you do them. Have your knees back like that. And then you can do the push-up this way, like this. But you're keeping your knees on the floor. You might need a cushion. On a carpeted floor, it's not a problem. And of course, you've got to be mindful of what you're wearing. But if you're home-based, you're probably at home working in your pajamas anyway. Now that you've done your chest, you can move on to your arms. Now the front of your arm is called the bicep, the back is called the tricep. The push-up exercise does work on your tricep, but there's one more exercise you can do that works on the tricep as well, which is a dip. So on a table or ledge or chair, you can do something like this, and you can lower yourself and come up. Now the dip is a higher risk exercise. If you're not a very strong person, I don't advise doing it. I just advise you to just stick with some sort of variant of the push-up. But the dip is a way of hitting the back of your arm more. And then for the bicep, the front of your arm, you can use a bag which has something heavy in it. So it can just be your bag. And you curl up and down, and you do it under control. You can put things like books into the bag to make it heavier, and you do the same number on each side. So it's fully unwind, fully curl up, and fully extend. So those are some of the options we can do to exercise our arms. So we've now done almost the full body. All that's left now is for the abdominals. Now the last thing we're going to do is deal with the abs. Now that we've done the whole body, we don't need the core stability. We can tire out the core. So one of the easiest ways to work on your abs and strengthen your whole core is just to do an exercise called a vacuum. So you suck your tummy in as hard as you can, and you just hold it there for as long as you can. Then you relax and let it come out. Catch a few breaths. Suck it in as hard as you can. Suck away your tummy. Squeeze. Keep breathing. And do that a few times. That will get you deep core muscle activation. It might even feel quite sore when you're new to it. But for the external abdominals, some of the more common exercises are planks. You can do a plank by gently placing your hands on the ground like this. You can make it more dynamic by pulling your knee forward. If you pull your knee forward as hard as you can, like you're trying to touch it to your face, you'll feel a very strong crunch on one side of your abs. So I recommend you try exercises like that. You can also lift one leg up, and that starts working on your hip flexors as well, and lift the other leg up. You've got to do everything equally on both sides. You can pull a knee to one arm, and you feel that really in the obliques, the side of your abs, and you always do both sides. And you can also do this exercise on your forearms if that is comfortable, but that will restrict your ability with some of the knee ones. But you can still do them. You can still do them, and they feel a bit differently. So try different things and see how you feel. You don't have to obsess over your abs like some people do. Remember, your abs only look good if there's no fat on them. And it doesn't matter how hard you train them. If you've got lots of fat around them, you will not look any different. So focus on getting your body fat down, and your abs will always look quite good if you're just doing these basic exercises we've looked at. So remember, you can work from the feet all the way up your body. You can do this as one workout in the morning or in the evening, or you can do it through the day during breaks at work. And you can do this every other day, even every day, because it's not too heavy on your body, but it will get you into shape. And I have in the past trained like this myself and been able to maintain a very decent physique, so you can too. Now obviously these are great exercises to do at home if you've got a home office or you work from home. You can do them if you've got an office, in a building, in a company. Obviously, you might look a bit strange if you're doing this in front of lots of colleagues. So these really suit you if you're on your own, but you can get into shape if you want to, and you can do so when you're very busy. Taking a 5-minute break every hour is actually really good for your concentration. You're not going to do any less work. You'll probably even work better. And doing exercises through your workday actually increases your blood flow and helps you to think better, helps your brain to work better. So do consider this. Even if you are somebody who works out at a gym, you can do these exercises to add on to your fitness if you're not getting to the gym very often and you're not getting a lot of time at the gym. I hope this helps.